Alright guys, so this is what we are going to be painting today. We are going to be painting a very abstract, fun American flag for Memorial Day. Okay, so Memorial Day is coming up, and that we celebrate all of the men and women that served our country that are no longer with us, and we are going to be painting this flag. All right, so colors we're going to need is white, red, and blue. You can even have a little bit of black if you wish. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We want to make sure we have our water. We want a paper towel or 2 or 3 if you're super messy like me. Okay, and here are our colors that we were talking about. Red, white, and blue. Perfect for our flag. All right, so for brushes, use whatever brush you like and whatever size canvas you're using or piece of paper. You're just gonna, so if like this size, maybe a brush about this size. You could do a brush medium size. Just whatever brush is available to you. All right, so this is gonna be easy peasy. I'm gonna get my light over here. All right, first we're gonna start off with, we're gonna do blue, and we're gonna do just the corner of our canvas or paper. So we're gonna go blue, and you can even, if you dab just a little bit of your red, it makes a cool, like almost purple, and it gives you a really dark feel. And we could go over it with our lighter stuff after. So this is blue, a little touch of your red. Make a really dark blue. It's almost like a purpley dark blue. And this is all we're gonna do. We're gonna start from one corner. We're gonna go give a little wiggle and up. And then we just get to go ahead and we're gonna fill in this whole area. So if you would like it to be a little darker, using that purple. If you want to keep it the brighter of the blues, that is perfectly fine, and just using your blues. Never a right, never a wrong. This is a good little gift for somebody too, if you don't want to hang in your room. Okay, so if you want to go darker, you could always add more, especially as it's starting to dry. You can go right on in and just add a little bit darker. And then you can go over when it's a little on the dry side. You can go over it with the blues. So what we're gonna do, so here is the very first part. So this will be the blue part of your flag. I wanna take my brush, or you're gonna use the same brush. You wanna clean it right on down. Dance it in your water, and then give it a little dry down. Now, it's okay if the blue and the red mix a little bit. I kind of like that. It gives it a cool kind of feel. So I'm gonna go in with my red. Now, this first one, I'm gonna probably touch, I'm gonna go really close. I'm gonna touch the blue, so I'm gonna drag some of the blue anyways. Just following this line. Now, this will be one of your red stripes. We're just following with the flow. See how we give that little flow? Just giving a little, follow with the flow. Now, if you want it to be a little bit darker, you could go in with your purple, and we're gonna go over with our colors afterwards. So we're gonna have a couple drying times. And then all I wanna do, I'm now gonna skip this area right here. Okay, I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna follow that little pattern that we were doing. I'm gonna keep it somewhat close and about the same size, you know, about the same size stripes. And of course, we don't have to be super accurate. It's a flag flying in the wind. I have a tendency to go back over my other ones as I'm doing this one. Right? We're gonna do that again. We're gonna skip this little area because we're gonna keep that in the white. We get to go ahead and fill her on in. And then I bet you can guess what we're gonna do here. We're gonna go ahead, skip that little area. And you've got a new stripe. Okay, so if you would like to make your stripes a little darker, just a little bit of blue with my red, and it'll give you that purpley kind of feel. And we're gonna have a drying time shortly after. So if you wanna make any of these a little bit darker, because we're gonna go back over with our colors, or you can keep it just the way it is, and we can hit up with our red and our blues afterwards. So if you wanna make it a little bit darker, or if you wanna keep it the same, that is all up to you. Okay, so now it's important. We're just gonna take our brush, we're gonna clean, dance in my water. That water is looking purpley now. I'm gonna go ahead and take the brush, give it a little wipe down. And now we get to go in with our white. So you remember what I said about that whole mixing thing? It's okay if you mix a little bit. It is okay if you drag some of your red, or say you have a little purple in there, it's okay. You kind of want that, because what that does is the white sometimes just disappears. And this gives it a definite purpose. It doesn't disappear. And say you made one of your reds too big, you could go ahead, go over it. This one I made just a little wide, okay? And I kind of did that on purpose just so I could show you guys. You could go right on over and catch. Nice and easy. Okay, so it's okay if that happens. I kind of prefer this. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. And again. All right, so after you get done doing this, what I want you to do, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hit pause, and we're gonna come back once it is all dry, okay? So go ahead and hit the pause button, and we'll meet back up when it's dry. All right, guys, so if you are all dry, you have now hit the start button again. All right, so if it is dry, you're gonna kind of give it a little feel, make sure it's dry. Now, if we wanna add more of that brightness, so say you went with that darker red, if you would like to brighten it up, I'm just gonna take my brush. I'm gonna go back into just my red. And I'm just gonna get it really close. Go right up the top. And that way you still see the dark underneath. Take your time. So see, that brightens it up. If you don't want it that bright, you don't have to. You can keep it on the darker side. The cool part is this is your painting. Go right over. Like making flags, they're kind of relaxing to do. Okay, so if you are going to move on to the blue, clean off your brush, grab a new one. That probably is not the brush for me. So I use my brush so much, sometimes I just break them. So grab a new brush or clean off the other one, and I can go in with my blue. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going in and just giving a little bit of brightness. You don't have to if you don't want to. So this could be a whole part that you skip. You could be taking a break and taking a drink of water. All right. And then I bet you can guess what our next one would be. If you want to, you can make your white brighter. Now you don't have to. You can keep, I like that little bit of pink, so I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to drag a little bit through. Now, I suggest don't get too close to your red unless you do want to bring more pink in, because your red will still be wet. Take your time. All right. So you could have on the pink side or on the white side. It would just be nice, relaxed. It's one of my favorite brushes. And see how it just keeps on peeling? Oh, it drives me nuts. All right, guys, so if you've done this part, now you need to go ahead and you're gonna hit pause and you're gonna wait till it dries one more time, and we get to do the fun stars and a little bit of splatter. All right, so see you back here when it is dry. All right, guys, welcome back. All right, so this should be dry. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna make stars, okay? Stars are pretty easy. There's two different ways to make the stars. I'm gonna start off with my white ones. This is a smaller brush, whatever small brush you feel comfortable with. And all we're gonna do, if you're going to know how to make it A, or the start of a triangle, then you're gonna make a little line through. And now we connect. And this is the way I learned when I was a kid. You go up and down. So it's like making that triangle. Over, back, and forth. So I show you these guys again. All right. So here we go. A, line through it. And then making a little, connecting the ends. Okay, so I like to put a couple or a few of the white ones in the blue area. And then I like to make blue ones for my other areas. And it's okay if you go over your red and white together. Here's your A line. It always looks like a man too. All right, and then the way I did it as a kid, up and down and crisscross and back. A, attach. So whatever way it makes your heart happy, that's the way you're meant to do it. And if you have a different way, I would love to hear about it. Tell Christy and she will message me. I always love to hear different ways that people do things that I do. So sometimes something that you know how to do and you know how to do it a little different can help somebody else that may have a hard time with it. Okay, so we have our fun flag going on. Now this is my favorite part of the whole part. Okay, so we'll need oh heavens, what happened to my brush? We need to have a brush. I like to call it my ugly brush. I kind of like a brush that looks like this. Now, if you have if somebody there can find a bigger brush or maybe a toothbrush that hasn't been used by anybody, that also works. And we're going to take water, clean water. So I've got a clean water. I'm going to take a little bit of that white. I'm just going to go ahead and give a little tap off. So make sure you get a little help with this, just because it can be super messy. And I don't want to get in trouble for making everybody make a mess. Okay, and you can also, I'll show you another way. If you decide that you want more control, you take the back side of the brush, a little bit of white, and I can go through and just giving a little dab wherever I would like to be. Kind of like snow. But if you want to be fun and not being particular where your little dots are, we're just going to take the brush, we're going to hold it, and we're going to go ahead and give a little tap. Check that out. So remember, make sure you have a little help. They'll probably make sure there's something on the table, a newspaper or something. And if you can get as wild and crazy and fun as you want, just as long as they know you're going to be wild and fun. And it doesn't even have to be like, it could be like little splatters even. So it's okay if you have something like that. This could be as fun as you wish. All right, guys. So remember to always give your little signature, give your little initials down in the corner in the back. And I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you have a wonderful start of our summer. Memorial Day is when we usually say it's the start of our summer. So hopefully that's the truth. So until we paint again, and I think we'll be painting something summery. So hopefully you guys will all love to do this one, and we'll meet back again. Have a good day.